Hi, I'm Jenny Fish with One Big Happy Yarn Company, and welcome to our 2024 block knit along. We're in episode 1. I can't wait to tell you guys all about this project. We are diving into 2-color knitting techniques. So let me show you here on my blanket. We're doing stripes in tarja. We're doing 2-color brioche, cables, 2 colors. We're doing some duplicate stitch. All kinds of fun things. For episode 1, block 1, we're going to be doing stripes, but before we get started, we need to talk about the supplies. We are using Skipja yarn, and I'm so excited about this. I use the Stonewash XL. It's worsted weight, 70% cotton, 30% acrylic. I'm using Stonewash, but on our website, where you can pick up the kit, we also have River Wash. So check out all the different available colors because there are a ton of them. It is super soft and washable. So we're also using several different sizes of needles. Because the 2-color techniques change your gauge around, we're going to have to adjust for that because we want all of our squares to end up being 5 inches. So, dun, da, da, da. My favorite, I love these needles. They're ChowGoo interchangeable needles. So one pack has all the different sizes that you're going to need. We're using several different sizes. We're using US 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, just so that we can make all these beautiful blocks 5 inches and keep the pattern and the gauge the same, or keep the pattern and the sizes the same. So pick up one of these. These are great, and you'll be covered. If not, you can buy all the individual sizes, and they'll be in the pattern as well. An additional set of needles for the seaming and the border. We're going to be using an I-cord technique, so a set of US size 9 double-pointed needles will come in handy for that. I highly suggest those as well. We are doing some cabling, so if you are more comfortable using a cable needle, something like this, you'll want to pick up a set of those, or you can, if you're familiar, I'll show you both techniques, but you can also use a double-pointed needle. We're going to be doing some color work, 2-color techniques, so a set of bobbins would be great. We have the One Big Happy Yarn Company yarn bobbins that I found very helpful as I worked the project. Then, of course, your normal stitch markers, tapestry needles, scissors, measuring tape, all the normal things. So those are the supplies that you'll need to work this 2024 block knit along with me. This 2024 block of the month knit along is perfect for those of you out there who have seen all these amazing 2-color designs and techniques and gone, how do they do that? Well, we're going to start off really simple, and we're going to just work through these techniques. Each month, you're going to learn something a little bit new, something a little bit different. Maybe you already know, maybe you just need a little bit more confidence to go, yeah, I can do that. By the time we're finished with this blanket, 9 different 2-color knitting techniques are going to be in your knitting tool bag of knowledge that you can pull out for other projects and go, yeah, I've done that. But because we're doing just a little tiny 5-inch square, you're like, I don't have to dive too deep, but yeah, I got enough of this. I've done that before. You're going to build up your confidence as you walk along with me each month. And then when you're done, you can go, I did good. So now that we've built up our confidence that we can do this, let's get started with something super simple. It's block number 1, simple stripes. We are going to cast on and knit across and change colors. So I want to show you how we made this block right here. This is block 1. We're doing stripes, super simple. Okay, first off, we are using US size 8. There it is, US size 8 knitting needle. And now you can use straight needles for this. Let me go back and explain that too. I prefer circular needles. I also prefer having this interchangeable set so I can just change out my needle size anytime I need them. But they're really simple. You just take the tip for the size that you need, and then you screw it into the cord. And then inside the little pocket here, there is a package of little tool looking things. What I'm diving for here is this T-pin right there, because there's a little hole right here. I slide that in and just kind of give it a little extra twist and that torque right there tightens it up so it doesn't come undone. Okay, so I'm starting with size 8. And the great thing too about the interchangeable needles is every tip, I don't know if you can see that or not, but every tip tells you what size it is. There we go. Tighten that up. So I've got my size 8. Now, like I said, you can use straight needles if you want. I just prefer circular needles. And we are going to cast on 20 stitches. And I'm just going to use a long tail cast on. We've done that before, but if you need a little help, we do have a stitch support video that'll show you how to do that. And I just cast on. Now for you, you're going to cast on 20 stitches. I'm just going to go ahead and cast on 10 here so I can get to going and showing you how we're going to do this. In the pattern, each block is going to give you a color sequence chart, because some of the blocks in this pattern are more dominant, use more of one color than the other. So in order to make your yarn go through and last for the whole project, if you follow the color sequences that I used for each block, you will have enough yarn at the end. We're using a lot of yarn in this project, and I tried to distribute the colors evenly throughout the different blocks. Most of them you're going to use about the same amount for each block, but some of them are heavy on one color versus the other. So I just want to point that out. Also for this block, it's 30 inches by 45 inches, and that's after blocking. It's what I came up with. If you want yours to be bigger, you can always purchase more yarn and add more, because we're going to be making 6 blocks of each of these 9 blocks. So that gives us 54 blocks at the end that we're going to put all together. So like I said, if you want to make it bigger, just get some more extra, you know, match up your colors, or even add more colors if you want, and you can make the blanket bigger in size. But this is really, we want to show you all the techniques, and you get to practice because you're going to be making 6 blocks of each technique. Okay, so I've got 10 stitches cast on. Now I'm going to be on row 1. In the pattern, you follow the color sequence and it'll tell you with first color, do this. With second color, do this. And then you go back and you look at your color sequence and it'll tell you first color, second color, so you'll know how we're matching up. So row 1 is simply, I'm just going to knit across all the stitches, regular knit stitch. And then for row 2, we're just going to turn our work and we're going to purl back. So I'm just going to purl all the way back. Once I get to the end of row 2, I will show you how we change colors. All right, so now I'm ready for row 3, and I'm going to be using the second color. What I'm going to do is, I dropped my yarn down here. There we go. Just pick up the second color. I put my needle in as if to knit. I made a loop, slide that loop on my needle, and I knit that first stitch. And then I'm going to go ahead and not knit with my tail, knit with my active yarn, and knit all the way across. And I'm noticing I've got a little bit of some slack there that I'm going to just pull that one and tighten up. I'm also not cutting my yarn. I'm going to leave it attached. As I'm knitting along, I'm just going to leave that first color laying there and knit with the second color. And then just purl back for row 4. Then I'm going to show you how on row 5 we switch back to the first color. And if you do notice that your stitches are getting a little loose, don't hesitate to pull on those ends to tighten it up, because we want to maintain our gauge. So if it gets a little loose, just go ahead and give it a little tug. Okay, so now I'm ready to go back to the first color. I'm going to drop the second color that I was just using, and then put my needle into the stitch 1, and I'm going to bring up my first color and just bring it up the side. That means carry it up the side and start knitting with it, just like that. And I'll do that every time I go to switch colors. And I won't cut my yarn until I'm done, until I've bound off the block. So you'll just go ahead and follow this and follow the pattern. And then when you're done, you'll bind off. Okay, so I'm just going to show you real quickly how to bind off. If you need a little bit more help, we do have a stitch support video. But I'm going to go ahead and knit the first 2 stitches. Then I'm taking my left needle, picking up the first stitch, lifting it up and over. Then I'll knit the next stitch and repeat that by picking that stitch up, lifting it up and over, all the way across. So casting on and binding off do take additional yardage. So in the pattern, I've indicated which color I've cast on with and which color I have bound off with, so you can follow along. Okay, so now that I have cast off, I have this loop here. I'm simply going to cut my yarn and pull it through this last loop, and that will secure it. Just like that. And there we go. So here is block 1. That was so easy. See, it's not going to be that hard. Go ahead and make 6 more of these. You can do it. We've done our first striped block. Thank you so much for joining me for the 2024 Block of the Month, Block 1. Meet me back here next month, and we will get started on Block 2, where we will be working on changing colors by each stitch. Thank you so much, and happy knitting!